PCA is excited to introduce a new range of distance learning online courses where all the teaching that you're going to need for your first year of your creative study will be available online, which means you can study at home or in your own studio or abroad.
So, Tim, what are the benefits of learning online?
Um, there's two that I can immediately think of, and the first one is just about sort of juggling your way through life. I mean, I don't know about you, Heather, but I know it's always difficult to sort of juggle work and family commitments and have time for yourself as well. So I think if you need a bit of flexibility in the way you manage your life and your work, I think the online route is really helpful because it means you can develop some of the skills and the activities that you've undertaken outside of a timetable session at a time that's kind of really good for you, I think. And I suppose the other one is probably a bit more of a financial consideration, and that's just about saving a bit of money on things like accommodation, halls of residence, or shared house, and of course
So
the
expensive.
ongoing living costs that pile up so quickly.
So, who do you think is this course for?
I think it's for everyone, but I can think of a few sort of categories of situations where it might be beneficial. I mean, I know that there are students who are living in the UK, but also international students, and they want to study remotely at home to, as I mentioned earlier, to reduce the cost of accommodation and other living fees. But I think there's also an interest for international students who may not have a visa for a September 2020 start. And I suppose this gives those students the opportunity to commence the study and be ready for September 2021 when they'd start their second year. And I
I know for me, it would be, I would love to study online right now. I'm a little concerned about some of the things that are going on with COVID. Although I know that Plymouth College of Art is really safe, I still would feel much more comfortable to study at home.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
would work with my schedule as
Yeah.
well.
I don't think you're alone there, and I know some of the students, the applicants I've interviewed, and I think you've also interviewed as well, Heather. Have expressed concern about being on campus and being with other people in a particular space when September arrived, and I think it might have put them off applying at that particular point. But as we both know, the world is moving on at an incredible pace, and I think again, this course is an opportunity for those who were and still are worried about the global pandemic to work, in the security of their own space. So yeah, I think that's a really important important point.
And I think,
Yeah,
well, like students may have been a bit concerned at the time that we were doing our initial interviews for intake in September and October. And I guess like now that they know that things are maybe settling down or they feel a little bit more confident with the way things might be running, now would be a really good time to start. So a January start might be a good time for those students that are just like trying to sort out what they're going to be doing moving forward.
yeah, definitely. And I think everyone was worried about that in September because it was such a seismic shift in education. Nobody knew what degree level study would actually look and feel like, and I think with the benefit now of a term under our belt, we know that the hybrid delivery model that we're working towards here at Plymouth College of Art is really working, and it has that balance of online sessions and face to face, but also that sense of community, which I think is really important in any learning experience. And I'm guessing, Heather, in your practice, that the importance of community is essential to a productive session or happy
Definitely.
atmosphere.
I really do feel like we're building that community online, even with our face-to-face students who did start in September. But I think from all of the learnings of moving forward online with some of our delivery, we've been able to like really understand what works and what doesn't work. And I feel much more confident teaching online. And so I really think that this would be a great experience for anybody that's thinking about starting now.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're all feeling more assured and confident about delivery than perhaps we were certainly in March when that first lockdown hit, and suddenly we were all thinking, how on earth are we going to make this work? And I suppose that's the advantage of being a small independent art college. We can make those changes and we can create as new. And I think that this is a great example of how we've been able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of other examples, that might be beneficial for students. And I know that students who perhaps left it too late to start a face-to-face course in September, would benefit from it. And I suppose international students who are working on their English language qualifications as well, and they will be ready by January to come and join us and commence their studies.
Yeah. So how is this going to be different from other online courses?
The golden question, yes.
That nobody else can.
Exactly. So it will be different, and it is different, and I think that's the selling point of this type of experience, because we know that there's let me start that again.
Yeah.
I'll just keep in with the answer.
Fine.
So it is different. There's no doubt about it, and I think that's the selling point of a program like this. And I think some people might think it's sort of a slightly compromised learning experience because you're stuck behind a computer and you're not engaging face to face, with the processes and the techniques and working with people in a face to face way. But actually, you are. It's just we're doing it from sort of pop up. Isolated studio sites. So there is still that sense of community, and there's still that ability to undertake the processes and the techniques that are relevant to your subject specialism. And there's probably a little bit of myth busting to undertake, because Heather, I don't know what your experience of online training programs are. I see them as you watch a video, you do an activity,
and then you tap the button.
in, and you're desperately trying to scroll through the video, to get to the end, and then you submit it, and you get some kind of like fake certificate to say, well done, you completed this module. Now, this course or this program is nothing like that whatsoever. It's real time. It replicates what it's like to be on a program. As per normal. So you have timetabled sessions, and we're all in the virtual room together, just as you would be in a face-to-face situation. And it's not just the odd session here and there. You have 4 dedicated 4 times 3 hour sessions per week of real-time teaching and learning, not to mention one-to-one contact time with tutors, and of course all the outside of your timetable opportunities, the chance to be in a cohort with other students in a virtual space. So when you add it all up, I mean, we factored in 40 hours of teaching and learning per week, which is very achievable. So yeah, it's in no way a compromise sort of learning situation. It's just a very different and new experience. But one I think,
I think that also students taking this course and working online for that first year, they'll just really get comfortable with the methods and the processes that we use, the different learning platforms, the different digital tools. And so if they do choose to come into second year with us in studio, then they'll just be so much more ready. I'm hoping anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they will be. And, I think we know they will be, and also I suppose in the back of my mind, you're thinking about what other skills your students need in order to do well in a virtual world. And of course, those marry up to the skills that employers are looking for in graduates. Those students who can present online, who can be more than just a tiny little box in the corner of the screen, who can communicate with each other both verbally and visually, and in written form, online. So, these are all the skills that are the future of not just education, but employment,
Yeah, like I think that you and I have talked about this before, but everything is like with the pandemic, things did go into the digital sphere, and we're now training our students to be able to work within this space. I can give an example for fashion. That's the subject that I lead, but there was just an amazing presentation. Balenciaga put on an amazing digital presentation where the fashion show is actually a video game. And so like this is what I'm hoping, that this kind of learning in the digital space will provide students to think about beyond when they actually come back into the studio.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really lovely point, because it's a game changer. We're not trying to do the same thing that we would have tried to do in a room together. We're trying to do something completely new. So, your notion of a very different type of fashion show, I think, is a really great example of how we can do new things very differently to how we've done them in the past.
And we have to.
Okay.
So what happens after my first year of online distance learning?
Well, that's a really good question, and I suppose, Heather, you're in a good position to sort of think about what a first year student is like and what a second year student is like on a degree program. So I think the first thing to say is this distance learning course, this first year, is accelerated. So that means we're squeezing a year into a slightly shorter amount of time. But what that means is students are really thinking on their feet. They're thinking quickly. They're building up skills, without too much delay. And then come September 2021, when they commence the second year, there's a couple of options available. The first option is students are able to join the second year alongside all the other second years who are currently working in our hybrid model, face to face and online. So they kind of rejoin the rest of the year group. There might be students who are looking to start a year two somewhere else in the country or in another university in the area. So completing this first year gives students that flexibility, if again their life demands that they need that flexibility. So yeah.
Good. Okay. And then what kind of support will a distance learning student receive?
A lot. And actually, it's really important to remind ourselves that a distance learning student gets the same level of support as a face-to-face student, or somebody working on the hybrid delivery. So, Heather, I'm guessing you're part of a technical lab, or you engage in Wednesdays and things like that?
Yeah, so we have the sewing lab, Wednesday workshops run in the sewing lab. So that means you can learn things like pattern cutting, hat making, different wig making. They're doing shoes sometimes. There's all different kinds of things that you can do within those Wednesday workshops. So those are technical skills just in the sewing lab area, but there's technical skills that you can learn all over the campus. And so those are available to the distance learning students as well.
And do you record your sessions?
We do record some of those sessions, and then some are in the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, because suddenly you're building up a massive library of digital material. And I suppose it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, about sometimes the need to be flexible in life, to access those recordings at a time that's suitable for you and works for you, is really crucial.
Is our technicians are so knowledgeable. They have so much other information, so much a breadth of information to share. And this isn't stuff that you're going to just get on YouTube. Like this, you need that technician to be able to show you those specific techniques.
Yeah, and how to apply them sort of outside of your subject area as well. I mean, I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but a fashion designer not only needs to be great at sewing and using an overlocker and pattern cutting, but they need to be have good graphical flair, how to use photography and video, how to market.
Exactly. Different textile processes, all of these skills just add into the skill set that you're building within your degree course, and give you so much more area to be so much room to be creative with your outcomes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we've got so much support available. We've got the technical labs, as you mentioned. We've got the learning lab, which supports students with academic skills and careers, and alumni, and learning technologies, and the library. And we've got this is all under the banner of our student portal, which is available to students 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got the student support team and student union that are available online. So again, it's a really thriving, active community that students can get involved with.
Support includes things like counseling, financial support, things like all sorts of different things like that. So if you feel like you might need a little additional support with things, student support's amazing.
Yeah, no, it is incredible. And I suppose, the question in my mind for a student is, well, where can I find all this sort of stuff? So you may have seen, Heather, we've got that welcome site, which has a breakdown list of all the resources, how to access it and where to find it. And I think the more students get involved with that, the more confident they feel to make use of all the support that we've got here. And suddenly it becomes second nature, And I suppose one thing from my perspective that is important is for our courses or our programs, we use Canvas, which is a really powerful, what we call a learning management system. And basically it's like, a course or a program on a computer screen, and it's the place where you store your video recordings, your materials. You can have discussions and quizzes. You can submit everything.
Really easy to navigate, and it's all in one place, so you don't have to go to all these different places to find what you're supposed to be doing. It's all there.
Definitely. I don't know about you, Heather, but I have tabs all across the screen most of the time. So I'm always looking for ways of reducing that and having things just in one place as well.
Definitely. So what courses are available? Sorry, let's just repeat that. What courses are available? Okay. What courses can I study?
Well, I think we've got 7 on the table, haven't we? I think so. We've got graphic communication and illustration, 2 separate courses. We have commercial photography and interior design, decoration and styling. And I would guess that the other 2 are your domain, Heather?
So then we also have fashion, and then fashion media and marketing, or fashion communication. And so we're really excited to be part of this, the distance learning opportunity in January, and we hope that we have students that come into fashion.
Definitely, and from the applicants we've had, we've seen applicants who are mature students who've taken a bit of time out of education, new graduate students who've just come from school or in college, and some students who have a very kind of sophisticated portfolio, and some who they've expressed such a keen interest in their subject area, which is also something that's really important to us.
Definitely, it is. It's been really great to interview the students so far for this course, because they do have that level of, some of the ones that I've interviewed anyway, have a level of professionalism already, and what they're looking to do is just sort of upgrade in certain specific areas of the area that they want to study in. So it'll be really great to have them join in, and hopefully they join in second year too. Find out more about your opportunity to start an online creative degree in January 2021 by visiting our website or getting in touch via email or phone. You can also reach any of the subject leaders through the website to ask more specific questions about each of those courses.